Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, partner.
So yeah, I think this is the third podcast, the Podflow.
Man, just last year, this was all talks. And now we're already on the third.
All last year I wanted to do this, but I was just like holding my own potential back. You know what I mean? So,
and we cozy with it today.
2024, I feel like me and my circle are just at a whole another just like fires like underneath us right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like
you're just growing. The empire is growing. The circle's getting harder.
It's hard to stay still. Like it just gives me like the little jig, like the dog.
Yeah. So today I reached out to Kapua and I was like, "Yo, who knows about Kapua? Who knows the ins and outs of what this man does? Because I get to witness it, but no one really knows the work that this man puts into his craft." And I feel like that is, it's sad almost because of how awesome and as inspiring it is for me to witness it and to see it. And like, so what brings us here today is just like recently, I think it was like he was saying 3 years ago, he started this musical journey, and he's kind of been posting a lot of new music, but I feel like he needs to be already on world tours. Because like every song he shows me, luckily he lives right down the street, and he'd be like, "Hey, KFlow, let me show you this John real quick." And then I get a like private concert on all his new music, and I feel so blessed to be a part of that. And we've even made a few music videos together.
Yeah. Just
for fun. And it's just like unreal that we just can go out right now and make a music video because he has just some fire on the playlist. So the first question I have, Kapua, is just like, how did you get into music? Like you've been a dancer for most, like half your life, basically.
Majority, yeah.
And then 3 years ago, you're like, know what? Let me go ahead and get into music. Like, what made you want to change that leaf into that art?
Well, before I dive into it, I just have to say this for me is like, right now I feel like I'm interviewing myself because everything that Kev just said is a mere reflection. Like the stories of who and what we are, what makes us. Like, this is my brother, this is my neighbor, and it's a transparent, like we're looking in the mirror, So I feel like I'm getting interviewed from myself.
We blood.
Yeah, we blood on the fam. But so yes, thank you for all that you have just shared already, and just giving an open space for me to spread my wings of sharing my background, as well as just particularly how I fell in love with music, in addition to dancing and performing. So like Kev said, dancing has been my bread and butter. That's just my main passion, my forte since I was very little. And music came around literally almost 3 years ago, come this March.
Was that during the pandemic?
Yes.
Pandemic?
2021.
Oh, yeah, that's about that time.
Yeah. Pandemic time. And what had happened was how this all started as far as my musical journey. My grandma, she passed away, and she passed away in I think it was the end of almost like beginning of 2021. And my family asked me to do the eulogy at the service, which I've never done or experienced before. And as emotional as I was just going to go off the top of the heart. And 15 minutes before our service started at the church, my mom came to me and she was like, she calls me Nicole. Nicole. My real name's Nicholas. So that's like growing up, that's my nickname for mom. She's like, Nicole, I think you need to you should write something. And I was just like, all right. So I went into my notes and I just started, you know, just letting it pour out on my screen. And I had a good like 3 paragraphs down. I just didn't have a closing. I didn't know where to bring it as far as like to wrap it up.
Mhm.
And so on the way to the church, I couldn't have any conclusion of what I wanted to seal the eulogy with. And so I went ahead and did the eulogy in front of my family and the church and the staff of the church, you know, and my grandma there. And when it got to the end of the eulogy where I didn't have anything to finish, that's when I got to get it off from the top of the heart. Yeah. And that's when my heart spoke. And man, like, I couldn't believe everyone's reaction as far as like their facial expression. And when we left the church, the lady who was playing the piano during the services, she came to me personally and was like, I just want to tell you that when I pass and when it's time for me, I hope and pray that I have someone in my family that covers my eulogy the way you did for your grandma. Because all that you said, I can tell you, I know the lady now. Like, I know her. Dang. And she, like you, because in my eulogy, my grandma loves butterflies. Mm-hmm. And the pianist, she was just like, I feel like that's what she was indeed. And you just laid it out so well of like who and what she was. I feel like I know the lady, you know. Wow. And when I'm looking at her picture, that is all radiating to me. And I was just like, you got all that from the eulogy, you know?
Because something you need to know about Kapua, he's very in tune with himself and his spiritual side. So that's why I'm even sharing today, because he usually off the top is so genuine and so connected with his every word that I think it hits deeper than he even realizes. But yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, my brother.
I just needed to tap
No, that goes a long way. Yeah, and just after receiving that type of love from her and as well as my family, and just reflecting on what it was that I actually said and felt when I did the eulogy, it just triggered something inside of me to where I wanted to utilize my voice more, especially when I got back home to LA. I was just like, man, I've always been around music all my life. My dad was a DJ growing up. I danced for a living. You know, within my family, my cousins, some of them are artists themselves, music artists. And I just never really dived into that pool personally. And when I got back to LA, I was just like, how can I use my voice the way I did at the eulogy? And I just dawned on me like, man, maybe I should go to my cousin's house, and because they have an in-house studio. And I just was like, let me just ask them if I could attempt to make a song. I don't know what that means to me, but, and I don't even know where to start, where to begin, what that's like, but so after returning from the services and getting back home to LA, I went over to my cousin's house, and I sat down, I caught up with all my cousins, and in the studio, it was me, and this is like our family, you know, our boy Rocco, 808, shout out Rocco. Hey. And then, man, my heart, like Jace, Van Seal, he was also in the studio. And these are like this is like our fam. So those two right there are musical geniuses, like top to bottom. And, we were catching up in the studio, and it was so crazy because before I even brought it up, Rocco was like verbatim, hey, I think we should make Kapua a song tonight. And I was like, how did you read my mind? Like, how do you know this? Like, I didn't say a word, but that's what I was planning on expressing when I got back from the services.
That's God.
And for Rocco, for the broski to say that, I was just like, boom, shit. That was God. And it was just so divine, so in grace, and so just like aligned that like I didn't even tell them until until the song was done that night, that I was just like, I need you guys to know I was going to ask if I could possibly attempt to make a song. And Rocco pulled it out.
Little did you know.
Little did I know. Rocco and Jace, they helped me create my first song ever, which then became King, which was released in March of 2021. And from then on till today, my passion and love has just been falling deeper and deeper into the world of music. And it relates so much to dance that like, that's how much it's been pouring on me, because it's just another form of creative art that I'm able to play in.
And I feel like he's been doing it, even though he just started 3 years ago. The way he talks, the way he walks, the way he is already this vocal artist. Because even we have these conversations on Instagram all the time, and I just gave him an example. He just talks to me on voice messages, but everything sounds like a bar. Like, I put a beat on it just today. I was like, yo, watch. I put on a random voice message that I didn't even know what it was, and I start going and it went so hard, and it was just a random voice message, just the way he is. It's such a natural thing for him. I'm like, we're almost upset you didn't do it earlier, because it's just like, I'm so lucky I get to live here, because like every time he comes over, he's got 2 or 3 new ones that I am just like, how do you and when do you do have the time for all this? Because each song is its own story, and you can't even compare it to the other songs. It just is its own lane, each one.
That's deep.
So it's just like, I'm ready for him to start going around world tours, and I'm going to help out however I can. But it's so interesting to see his growth on the past couple of years, because from King, brother. I was in that music video. Fire.
He was on the barbecue. Kev was on the pit. He was on the barbecue pit cooking. He was flipping patties. You know what I mean?
But it's so surreal to me, because I moved here from Missouri, the country, and I didn't expect to just be chilling with my best friend and we just do music videos. We go shoot music videos. He makes songs. We make choreography. It's all like, we don't have to go nowhere.
Yeah.
We don't have to go get a gig or work anywhere. We literally work for ourselves, and it's such a blessing to be able to even realize that right now, that we're our own artist. We don't need anybody to do what we do.
Yeah, very much so. And yeah, just to touch upon that, I don't know what it is, but when I start to create a song, I feel like this was always bound to happen on time of its own, because when I'm creating a song, there's like, I just feel like a lot of reserve in me has been waiting to get like thrown up
on the cue,
on the cue, exactly, on this beat or on that beat or on that topic or on this theme, or in this cadence or in this melody. And it's just like a lot has been reserved, waiting for this moment for me to be revealed, to having such instant love for music. And man, hands down, if it without my brother Rocco, without my brother Jay, without you, without my brother Gary, my brother H, and also my blood brothers Julian and Mason, like all of you, those are my people of like fine tuning how I make music.
You ask questions to,
yes,
I was feeling this, I feeling that. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you got to bounce a lot of things off, because a lot of times when you're creating yourself, you don't know if that's actually the right move, because we always second guess ourselves. But I know you have the natural instinct to just do what is meant to happen. But Kapua is always so humble to reach out to all of his family to see what the best decision would be for each little idea that he has. He goes and he checks in with everybody in his circle to reconfirm his natural feeling.
Yeah, those are like my Mount Rushmores of folks that I like. I go and I'm like, I show them, you know what I mean? Like imagery wise, I'm like, what do you guys think of this? You know, and everyone's opinions, everyone's wisdom, guidance, support, and just, man, having you guys in arms literally is what puts me in a place to where I'm so, it's my, like Rocco always says, he's like, Rocco, after every time we record, he knows it too, because I just can't fight it. But he's just like, I know how much making music, how happy it makes you.
Yeah.
Like, you can't wait to ask me to get in a session. I'm like, I know, Rock. Sometimes I feel like I bug you, you know, like, but I literally, like, it's just been such a new experience that I haven't been around it long, you know, only coming up on 3 years.
Yeah, it's still a little baby.
Yeah, it's still an infant. It's still an infant. And what I've already like been able to feel from that within that time frame, it's moved me so much. And it also just kind of, it allowed me to get to know a different side of myself, you know. And I still to this day, my brother, tell you the truth, when I hear myself through the speakers, I still am in disbelief. I'm like, I did that, you know.
And something about Kapua too is you hear the final. You guys usually hear the final of what he's created, but this man puts a lot of time into each song. He stays up till the wee hours in the morning. He writes out the script or the words that he wants to use. He picks out the exact beat he wants, and he practices and practices and practices until he gets to the studio, until Rocco is ready for him. He's practiced and choreographed. He's got his whole spiel down, and he knows exactly what he wants, but it doesn't come overnight. It's not something that, you know, I only can imagine the process, and that was going to be my next question. What is your, you know, chronological order of how you create a song?
Kev knows. Okay, I'm about to. You're gonna go on a walk with me right now, visually. Okay, so I'm in my home, right? First things first, I shut my lights off and I turn my galaxy light on. Okay, I
vibe.
Yeah, I go into the cosmos. Like I have my galaxy light, I turn that on, right, just to set the mood, and then it's me and my TV. And what I do is, we go beat searching first. And I found 3 solid producers. Shout out to them. Lou X2, Pale 1080, and Z-Shan. Those are usually like my 3 producers and go-tos for the flavor beats that I like. So I'll go and seek out the beat. And when one speaks to me, that is what I'll devote myself to for the night, or for that specific time that I'm about to create. And I'll throw it on the TV. I'll let it play on repeat. And sometimes before I start humming melody, I'll dance to the instrumental.
Get the vibe going.
And that's where our craft of dance comes in. I just feel like it's so clutch. Exactly.
Put you in the mind state, I'm sure.
Yes. And it also, exactly, put you in the mindset, and it also helps me find the direction of what I want to talk about and the mood I want to put people in when I'm dancing to it. So if I'm feeling like, oh, this song's like I'm in the club when I'm moving to this beat, then I'm in the setting of like,
here's
okay,
the concept.
Let's make a bop. But if I'm in a mood where like, ooh, damn, I need to, like, this is about old girl. You know, this is about that. This is about that one, you know, that thing. And I want to make that call to her, you know, like,
hey, you good?
Hey, how you been? You know,
I need you as my inspiration. Right
okay,
now.
You know who this is.
Talk to me.
You know, I know it's been a long time. You know, so dancing helps me find the mood and direction of where I want to take the song, and then from there, I'll find melodies and just start humming melodies. And then once I kind of once I spit out melodies, I'll I'll kind of place where I feel those melodies can go on the beat. Whether like this melody sounds like my verse, this melody sounds like a pre-hook, this melody sounds like a bridge, this one sounds like an outro. I'll just place those accordingly. And then from there is where the subject comes in. So whatever I'm feeling, the essence that I get from the beat and then from the melodies allows me to then find what I want to talk about. And my best friend, which is the phone at that point, I always record off the memos. Yeah. And that'll help. That's where I rehearse. You know,
even that sounds fire. I get to hear the memos. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, drop that.
I'll play the memos for Kev. I'll play the memos, you know, for my brother. And once I start plugging the lyrics, and then that's when I'm able to rehearse it, fine tune it, change some words, maybe change a topic, maybe, you know, that's where all the reconstruction happens. And then from that point, when I got the body of the song, I always call my youngest brother, Mason. We FaceTime. And I that's where my reps come in. That's where I rehearse it.
Hey, yo, check it out, blood.
Exactly. Yep. And that's where I use him as the mic, you know, so that I can have an extra set of ears, opinion, and just an outer perspective of what they're hearing for the first time.
What is this like? Because I'm in my own world right now.
Exactly. I'm so in the world that I'm like, wait, whatever I came up with, let me see what that lays like on someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Mason's he's always the first to like hear what I just came up with, because he's like my I like, and you know, he'll give me his honest opinion.
He ain't gonna hold nothing back.
He ain't gonna hold nothing back.
He ain't gonna give you the pretty. He gonna give you the gritty.
Yeah, exactly. He gonna give you the nitty gritty. And he's Gen Z, so they don't give a damn. Like, I'm gonna tell you like it is, you know, like,
which is what you need for that process.
Exactly, and that's why I tell him, I'm like, you're a clutch piece because you're my young ears. You know what I mean? And you tell it like it is. So give it to me.
That's valuable.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the process, and then from there, we hit up the broski rock, and when he's good, clear, and ready, I head over, and Rocco is the magic. He is the chef to the pot. Like,
I bring all the ingredients.
Yes, I'll bring the meat, you know, the marination, but he's the one like, flip it now.
He got the seasoning. You know? He got the seasoning.
Yeah, he's the one that tells it, close the top, choke it, boom. You know, like of the barbecue pit.
And I know that whenever you tell me about your experience after you kind of get done with your process, you'll be like, "Yeah, Rocco chose these instruments and he chose this cadence to go with this verse, and I just been doing it so long that you guys complement each other's craft in a way that is just such a beautiful combination." Because whenever it goes from the memo to the final product, I'm just like, whoa, dang.
Yes, exactly. Rocco is like my Gandalf.
You shall not pass.
You know what I mean? You shall not pass. You know, like, he's the white Gandalf in light. And I'm like, what's going on, brother? You know? And I'm going to tell you guys, from me to you, my most favorite part of the process in making music, hands down, is watching Rocco do what he does as an engineer, as a mixer. This man does it all. He's also a music artist himself, but behind the scenes, this boy was meant to be in music all around, top to bottom. The way he engineers and just, man, the way he butters just everything up, like and finalizes it into its mix and master stage. That is my most favorite part, and I can watch him for, like, when he records his own songs, Rocco's hours are in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
He starts recording like 2 a.m.
Wow.
on his personal stuff, and he gets done like maybe 7, 8 a.m. And I'm there like, I'm trying to hold on because I don't want to miss a thing. And I'm there in the corner of the couch watching him, like, because I love, it's just an art, and the way he does it and how he does it, it's so magical to watch. And that by far is my favorite part of the musical process, is watching him do what he does. Because I ain't never seen anything like that.
And I'm sure it influences your process of how you, when you go home, when you do it, how you do it, you get to see the real thing.
Yes.
And so bringing that to your craft, and then working with him, I'm sure it only makes you better at what you do.
Exactly. And it just enhances everything. Yeah. Full circle. No,
Wow.
by all means. Powerful thing.
That's beautiful.
It's a powerful thing.
Wow. That's crazy. I'm one of his good friends, and I don't even know half that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it's such an intimate process that, you know, it's kind of like your baby. When you first get your baby, you don't want anybody to hold your baby.
Yeah. Give me a minute. Come on.
Wait,
Hold
did
on.
you wash your hands?
You checking everything. You sure you qualified to hold a baby now? You know how to do this?
Have you done this before? Do you have any nephews or nieces or babies? Huh?
Let me see. Give it a test run.
Okay, let me actually just hold it a little bit longer.
We're going to get back to you on this, okay?
Well, yeah, man, it's beautiful to see it from top to bottom. I've been there through beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
And man, each song gets better. And even though it like doesn't get better, it's just because Kapua is getting better. It's not that any one of his songs is less than the others. It's just like he said, he'd be up till 8 a.m. with Rocco, and all these reps that he's putting in on his creativity, on the craft. There's a lot more to just like writing a song down and then spitting it out, and then it's on Spotify, and then you go get it. It's like, man, there was about 100 layers you just mentioned that I didn't know existed, and it's way harder than I would even imagine it. So I'm glad we got to get this down in the books on a podcast to bring people into your world, because that's a deep creative process that people need to know.
Yeah.
Like whenever they get one song, that's all the steps it takes to get the product. Whenever we just press play, sometimes you don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think as much because you're like, oh yeah, it's just a song. But nah, this fool goes through all these steps to give you that art. And now that I feel that everyone has seen that and has felt it and heard it from the words themselves, now when they listen to your music, they'll be able to truly appreciate each word, each note, each instrument, each verse, each cadence. Like there's a lot to building a song. And now that you have put it out for everyone to share, I think you might get a bigger following, and people will maybe even care more, because that's beautiful that you go through all that to create one song. And he has how many songs?
Oh gosh.
There's got to be at least 10 to 20. I don't know exactly.
It's a beautiful thing to like not know off the top of my head. Shoot, man. What? I would say, I mean, we're more than 10, and
less than 20.
more than 10, less than 20, give or take. Yeah, I mean, shoot. Yeah, I'd say close to 20, maybe. I'd say close to 20.
Yeah, because every time I see him, he's like, yo, check out these 3 new songs. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, Kevin be like, you just showed me 2 the other week. Like,
yeah. So even though he's got this many tracks, he's already got so many other ideas and so much other things. So if you're not paying attention to this man, pay attention. Follow this guy. He's got a lot more going on than just the music. He's a very triple threat actor, singer, dancer. So watch the journey, because this guy's gonna be there one day, if he ain't already.
My brother. And if I may share, I do have a new EP coming. Ooh. Surprise!
Oh yeah, I just heard it.
Yeah, Kev heard him. Heard him.
I closed my eyes and kind of got dirty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I gave him a little like pre-premiere EP release like the other week. So yeah, I have a new EP coming called Bare Necessities, and it's my first EP of this year dropping.
That's hard.
The targeted date is the 2nd of February, which is next week. Next week. So please keep the 2nd of February in your calendar, in your head. It's been stuck with me. My brother Huli, my middle brother, he said over FaceTime, I think this might be your best one yet.
No, I was listening to it, and it was like, ugh, it gave you the dirty, shaky, like gritty, nasty, like, ooh.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Like those songs you be in the car and you can't even be chill. You're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
It was one of those tracks. It brings out energy in you that makes you, even if you don't dance, you have to at least wiggle a little bit.
You can't fight. Don't fight it.
Yeah. Because I was feeling some type of way. I'm not going to lie.
Kev, see? And I just hope that, the world feels the same. And it's just more curation of the music that I've been making, which is just uplifting, high-spirited, feel-good music. It's island R&B, it's island hip-hop.
Island R&B sounds
yeah. Like, it's R&B and hip-hop, but because I come from an islander background, we dip it in that. You know what I mean?
We dip it in the islands.
Dipped in that like a corn dog, you know what I mean? On hot dog on a stick. Like, that's how, it got that Polynesian sauce from, what's that, your favorite
Chick-fil-A.
spot? Chick-fil-A. Exactly.
Dang.
Exactly. So it's just more feel-good music you could dance to, music you can drive to, music you can share with your best friends, your homies,
your fam,
your loved ones, your fam, old girl, old boy, your lover, all the above. And I'm really excited about this EP come the 2nd of February, which is next week. First one of 2024. Bare Necessities. Please be on the lookout, you guys. It'll be available everywhere and anywhere that you listen to music. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and et cetera, et cetera.
Nice. Well, Kapua, we want to thank you for sharing that. Like, I feel like I'm even closer to you, and I've been close.
Infinitely. Like,
so if y'all ain't paying attention, this guy's about to be roaming the world here very soon. So yeah, I'm gonna be tagging along. He got a suitcase at least big enough. Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, one goes, we all go.
Right. So pay attention to the journey. I'm telling you guys, this man's gonna be famous, and I already treat him like he's famous. This man royalty. So follow all of his platforms. He's also a funny dude, and just a good overall human being. So I'm sure you'll be inspired, even if you don't listen to his music. So just stay tapped in to the movement that Kapua is and is creating, because he is that guy.
I love you, my brother. And thank you wholeheartedly for just allowing me to speak in an open space and share this with the world. This is a beautiful thing. And KFlow, FLOWOGRAPHY. I don't want to jack it up. The podcast. Podflow.
This is going to be up on the Podflow.
Podflow. Sorry, this is so brand new that I'm still, as you know what I mean, one of his brothers, and I'm still trying to get it right. And all this has social media platforms, so don't forget to add all these. You know what I mean? So Podflow.
Let's go. All right, y'all. 2024. Stay tapped in. We're gonna stay letting you guys in our world. So if you like, subscribe, follow, comment, please do all that. All right. KFlow
Kapua.
We out.
Yee!
You can be my angel. Let me be your king. Let me take you to places that you ain't never been.